Throughout the entire Ramayana, Lord Ram is there, God is there. It's his story, it's the story of the divine in the form of Bhagwan Ram here on earth. So God is there through the whole Ramayana. Why then is this chapter, the chapter of Hanumanji, called Sundarkand? Sundarkand means the beautiful chapter, the chapter of beauty. What is it then that makes this chapter the chapter of beauty? Devotion, love, and service. This is what Hanumanji embodies. It's what he's the epitome of. It's what he inspires in us. And that is what makes not only this chapter of the Ramayana beautiful, it's what makes our lives beautiful. Most of us tragically look for beauty in something outside. If I just could have these clothes, or have that car, or have these jewels, wear this makeup, have that hairstyle, get done up in that salon, then I'd be beautiful. If I just could have that type of house or that type of life, then my life would be beautiful. But Hanumanji teaches us that it isn't any of those external things that brings beauty. It's devotion to God, service of God, and love for God that actually brings that beauty in our life. As he was flying over the ocean to Lanka in order to rescue Sita, he notices the glory of Lanka. The kingdom of which Ravan, the demon king, was king, was a kingdom made of gold. It was exquisite. And as Hanumanji was flying there to rescue Sita, he notices how beautiful it is. And it's a very important moment in teaching, because Lanka, this city ruled by Ravan, the demon king, the city that ended up having to be burned in the war in order to restore Dharma, in order to rescue Sita, was made of gold. In the same way that Dwarka, the city of which Lord Krishna was king, was also made of gold. It's not the presence or absence of the gold, of the external prosperity, that brings either divinity or demonic nature in our lives. The gold was in both places. So sometimes people think, well, if I just had gold, then everything would be perfect. And Lanka is a perfect example of how that is not so. Even in a city made of gold, it was his ego, his arrogance, his lust, his greed, his ignorance that turned this otherwise beautiful city into hell. And then some people think the opposite. They think, well, all the external beautiful things are a hindrance somehow on the spiritual path. And of course, Dwarka shows us that that's not true. And so, as we look at this, we realize it's all about the nature of who's in charge. It's not about the nature of what the buildings are made of. It's about, is Lord Krishna in charge? Is the divine in charge? Or is the demon in charge? And that's what ends up determining whether our lives are Lanka or our lives are Dwarka. Hanumanji shows us the power. And this is a story that I share so frequently, but for me it's really the core story of Hanumanji's teachings. And it's the story of when he was asked, how did you do all of this? It was after the war, it was after he had accomplished miracles. He had flown across the ocean, he had carried the entire Himalayas in his hand in order to bring back Sanjeevani, the right herb, to cure Lakshmi. How did you do that, he was asked? How did you make yourself so big, so small? How did you accomplish all of these miracles? And he said, I just take Lord Ram's name, and it happens. It happens. And that, to me, on a personal level, is such a core teaching, because so many of us we want to do good in the world. We want to be agents of light, of love, of peace, of goodness. We want to help, we want to serve. We want to bring a better world. And so many of us feel so confused. How can I, with my limited abilities, my limited education, my limited wisdom, my limited resources, my limited talent. And so many of us so frequently feel discouraged, helpless, hopeless. What can I do? And Hanumanji gives not just the answer, but the inspiration to that, which is, it's not about you. The miracle is God. He didn't say, well, for God's sakes, didn't you know I'm not just a monkey? You don't know who I am. That's not what he said. He could have. We know he wasn't just a monkey. But he didn't say that. He didn't say, oh, don't be fooled by appearances, actually I'm divine. He didn't say, I've got some very special mantra. He didn't say, I've got some special tonic. Simply, I take Bhagwan Ram's name and the miracles happen. It's not about us. It's about that devotion, that total surrender to the divine, whatever is needed. Oh, you need the mountains? Okay, can do. Oh, you need someone to fly across the ocean? Okay. Oh, you need someone to be really big? Okay. Oh, you need someone to be really small? Okay. No questions. Not, what? Me? Why me? But I'm gonna get tired, the Himalayas are so far. Oh my God, can't you send someone else? Immediately, just whatever is needed, even before it is spoken. With love, with joy, with surrender. And the miracles happen. beautifully, even though we know from the story of Hanumanji, we know he's not just a monkey. That in and of itself is actually also a beautiful teaching for us. Because until Jayanti reminded him that he was divine, he didn't remember. And it was only when he got reminded that he was divine, that he had these powers, that he could do miracles, did he remember. And that's there for us as well. We are divine. Whether you say the Son of God, the daughter of God, the manifestation of God, the incarnation of God, a reflection of God, whatever term we use, however it works for us to understand our divinity. We also forget, and we also have to be reminded. You're not just a monkey, you're not just a human. You're not just that skin and bones and who you think you are. You are divine. And it's not about you. Because the miracle is gone. And all you have to do is say yes. That is the mantra of Hanuman Jayanti to me. The mantra is yes. Being whatever, whenever, however, wherever, yes. And that is how. And that is when the miracles work through us. And let today be a beautiful reminder for us that our lives are miracles. And our lives can be miracles for the world simply by surrendering to God. That beauty of the Sundarkand, the beautiful chapter, that beauty can be ours with the 3-part sutra. Devotion to God, service of God, and love of God. Lastly, there's a very, very beautiful moment, and for me another very, very core teaching, in which Hanumanji is asked by Lord Rama, "Who are you?" And Hanumanji says, "When I forget who I am, I serve you. When I remember who I am you." And what I love about that is, it is that place where the traditions of bhakti, of devotion, and the tradition of non-dualism overlap. Because when he says forget, it's not forget as in like ignorance, it's just in certain moments, in moments of devotion, in moments of loving being devoted to you, loving chanting your name. I voluntarily forget who I am so that I may love you and serve you. And when I remember, I am. We are one. And it's that exquisite place to live in, of yes, we are the divine. And yes, the miracles come through love and devotion and service.